What is happening, traders? Here's how we secured 3R profit yesterday trading gold during the London session. If we go and have a look first and foremost on the higher time frames, what we can identify is the market was overextended to the downside. We have a bearish impulsive move. Now, after a bearish impulsive wave, we expect a retracement wave. What we can also identify is we have a level of 4-hour demand all across this area. Why is this 4-hour demand? Because exactly from this accumulation, the market pushed to the upside and broke above this high. So we were expecting the market to react from this level of demand. Now, if we just drop down to the lower time frames, what we can identify from a 5-minute perspective, going down on the 5-minute time frame, we can clearly identify we had this Asia session range. Okay, now on the Asia session range, the market started to move sideways. The market started to create this floor. Now that created a lot of sell side liquidity below the lows. We simply waited for the market to break out to the downside to tap into this 4-hour point of interest, which was the 4-hour demand zone. Once the market tapped into our 4-hour demand zone, we simply waited for one of our valid entry confirmations. Our valid entry confirmations in this particular case was very simple. You can see here, once the sell side liquidity was removed below the low of the Asian session, the market was in a downward trend from a 1-minute perspective, forming lower lows and lower highs. From exactly this last lower high, the market pushed to the downside and swept this low. Then, instead of respecting the lower high formation, this is when we had a change in market structure. Exactly here, because you can clearly see we have a higher high from a 1-minute perspective. I then took my Fibonacci from the low to the high of the 1-minute market structure shift, and you can see the 0.5% was our zone of confluence. Why was it our zone of confluence? Because we had a 1-minute fair value gap from that wick high to that wick low, and we also had this potential left shoulder, head, and right shoulder in confluence with the 50% fib. So that's exactly where I entered the trade. We also had 1910 psychological level as an added confluence. I entered as soon as the market tapped into that 50% fib confluence level. Our target was the high of the Asian session, and my stop loss was well protected below the lows, and I went for a nice 1 to 4 risk to reward. As you can clearly see, the market pushed to the upside after sweeping the low of the Asia session, and it tapped into perfectly the Asia session high. We did just miss our take profit. However, as soon as we started to reject this zone, because we were so close to our take profit, I decided to exit in around 3.4R profit. So a beautiful winning trade yesterday on gold.